DrivinIvanKatz here at Estero Disc Golf Course in Estero, Florida. And I have played the entire course, so you can see that video elsewhere on YouTube. But today, I am going to throw at this basket down here, and it's downhill. And that brings up a lot of issues in disc golf. And I'm going to talk about those issues. I'm going to talk about the discs and the numbers on them and what that means, understable versus overstable. So I have a Patreon below if you'd like to contribute. But if not, at least smash that like button and subscribe, and let's get going. I'm going to start off today with the Destroyer. A little bit windy, not too windy, but the wind's certainly blowing. So that could be a factor, but I'm just going to try to throw these as far as I can towards the basket and see what happens. Right. Terrible first throw of the day, but that's okay. Not warmed up at all. Really should have stretched a little bit. You want to practice your putting, you want to stretch, you want to write your name on the discs so that if you lose one, you'll be able to get it back. You also want to know your favorite discs and their weight and the mold so that if you ever lose one, you can get it back. And never, especially on courses like Estero, never throw your favorite discs near the water. Just don't do it. Just do not do it. That's the rule. Turning over at all. Let me see, what disc could I possibly get to turn over? What does turnover mean? Turnover means if I'm throwing with a bit of hyzer, forehand flick, they should flip up. Third number on the disc, if it's a negative, that means it's understable. That means it should flip over. This Hex Rakuten is an understable disc, but the wind is blowing against that. So it's hard to get a disc to flip over when the wind is coming this way. So I should be throwing these pretty flat, but not nose up, nose down, hopefully. And let's see what happens. Fight. It's not fighting much. They're fading off on me. That's okay. Hopefully they're staying on this side of the sidewalk. Don't want to endanger any people out there. The wind is blowing. It's picked up actually. It's blowing a little harder than I thought. Oh well. That was an Inustia. Kind of stable disc. All these discs might be a little flippy, but then they're going to stay, and then they're going to fade. Your natural fade for the right-hand backhand is going to be that way. So it would be good, actually, today to throw a right-hand backhand. They're going to be turned over and get you maybe a little more distance if your disc is stable. And if they're understable for the right-hand backhand, they'll probably be turning over too much on a day like this. This is a stable disc. It is kind of flat. Doesn't have much turnover. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a -1 for the number. Let me see. So yeah, 7, 7, -1, 1. 7 is the speed. 7 is the glide also, and that means the wind will take this disc. So 7 is basically a fairway control driver. This disc should be pretty easy to control. If you find yourself throwing speed 10, 11, 12s, maybe you want to get down to a Leopard or a River, or something like that that's a little less speedy in terms of the number. 0 to 3 are your putters, 4, 5, 6 approaches, 7, 8, 9 fairway control drivers. Fairway and control drivers, same thing. They should be easy for you to control and throw straight. The mid-ranges, they're called approaches sometimes. Mid-range, same thing. You should play the whole course with a mid-range to start. That's the 4, 5, 6s. This is 7, 7, 1, and then the last number is the fade, which is also a 1. So there shouldn't be a lot of fade. This one does tend to fade a bit. So let's see what happens. And again, if you find yourself throwing a speed 10, 11, 12, 13, go down like 3 numbers. And again, start with a 4, 5, or 6. That shark that you get right out of the pack, the cobra, any of these mid-ranges, throw one of those. There you go, straight down the center. Like I said, a little bit of fade. Let's see what else we got. Another Valkyrie here, flippy Valkyrie, but again, today, probably not very flippy because of that wind. I'm gonna throw it flat, a little bit nose down. Getting some good rolls. This one's pretty understable. Let's see what happens to this one. It's very understable, should turn over. But on a day like today, again, it's gonna have to fight a bit. So I'm still gonna throw it flat and hope that it does a little S curve and gets me down as far as it will get me. You see it? Just like I said, very flippy. It did turn over, fought against the wind, and really got very flippy. I use that as a flick turn roller. If I gave it a little bit more hyzer, hyzer, and hyzer, hyzer, and hyzer. If you give a flippy disc for your forehand flick and hyzer, it'll flip over and go ahead and turn over like that. You can make it a roller. Same thing this way. Just throw it with anhyzer, have it turn over this way. It's going to be a roller. 13.6, negative 5.3. So this is pretty stable. Let's see what happens. Oh my God, that was just total user error there. I was trying to force it. It's actually good that I did that because that's a common error. I was taking a disc. I was taking a disc that I know has tendencies to not really turn over too much, and I was fighting that by giving it a little anhyzer. Not only that, but I was holding my arm too much, and it wasn't a great result. This disc is also very stable. It's a Crank SS, which is one of my favorites, but it's not worn in. It's not very flippy yet. It should have a -3, which means it should really flip up like that much, but it's not really doing that because it's not worn in. You have to throw these discs, play with them, and that's another reason I like used discs. Watch me throw a lot of used discs in the fields. I do that, and it's a good idea to go out to a field with your friends and maybe throw their discs. Maybe you swap some, because if you have discs that aren't working for you, why not swap them with your friends? Why not? All right, I'm going to pull out. I know I have a few crank SS's in here. Well, this is good enough. So, these are my crank SS's. Like I said, this one's pretty stable. Let's see what happens. Yep. First run, crank SS. Sort of the same flight path. That one a little bit more stable. Now this is my bagger. This is the one I throw all the time, so let's see how I can do with this one. Very windy. Very windy today. But you see, it's still fading. Got me some good distance, but fading. Now this is a crank, not a crank SS. So it's a little bit more stable. It's going to be harder to get to come over this way. I am going to throw this with a little bit of anhyzer, but still try to throw it a bit nose down, not nose up. If I throw it nose up, it's just going to fade. So let's see if I can do it. Not too bad. Oh. Let's see. Got some interesting discs here. Leopard. This one's interesting because I know it's super flippy. I'm going to even throw it with a little bit of hyzer. I think it will turn over. Let's see. The wind is very strong. Yeah, it's still turning way over and really didn't go anywhere. Terrible, terrible shot. Discraft heat, really nice. What's it say? -3 for the turn. Nice. Avenger SS. Similar flight path, I think. Oh boy, I just totally, well there's almost a roller. Horrible throw. What else do I have in here? Viking. See what happens with this one. DX plastic. Don't knock the DX plastic. It breaks in quicker, gets more flippy, gives you the distance if you're a beginner. Again, if you know, some of these are so flippy that I throw them and they just turn right over, like that yellow leopard. But again, that could be a tool for certain shots. I've had amazing aces with that disc because it'll do a little dog leg left, just keep turning and not fade too much. It's amazing, but sometimes DX plastic gets too flippy, but for the most part, it's the cheapest and it breaks in really well. So don't knock it. Also, I keep them in my car. The ones that are too flippy, I keep them for the water discs. If I'm throwing over water, I'll throw those over the water because I don't really care if I lose them. I got it. Uh-oh. That one made it out to the path. Too far. Another Avenger SS. Oh, man. Terrible. Now I'm going to do something a little different. I have 3 mid-ranges left over. Tying my bag up on this pole here so it doesn't blow away. See if that works. It's windy. 3 mid-ranges. Let's see if I can throw these just as far as I threw the drivers and such. Not quite as far, well, equally as far as some. Kontiki. Notice the hyzer I put on that, and you know, it still goes very straight. Champion Panther, 5.4, -2 and 1. Oh, man. Well, now there you go. Let's go down there, see how they did. But first, smash that like button and subscribe. Leave me a comment too. So, which disc flew the farthest? The Heat today, Discraft Heat. Pretty close to the basket. Honorable mentions for the Valkyrie. Just a DX Valkyrie, the Big Z crank. And this River, very nice. Also pretty far, but certainly stable was my crank SS over here. That one, we started from up top this hill. But there you go, the mid-range Kontiki, about as far as the Hex Rakitan. And the Champion Panther also doing pretty well. Destroyer, not a good throw, my first throw there. Inustia is always a pretty good disc. Westside Discs, Inustia. And the Crank SS of mine. This King, very flippy King. And then the Crank SS, which I did not throw well over here. So, yes, so there you go. The Discraft Heat and really the Crank SS, my bag, are through the farthest. That was probably even a little farther, but just turned over a bit, so I'll call this the best throw because it was the straightest. But there you go. I hope you watch all my disc golf content, and smash that like button, subscribe. I have a Patreon, of course, and your contributions would be helpful. But check out my car reviews as well. DrivinIvan, very cool rock and roll videos lately. U2 in Dublin, and the Beatles in London and Liverpool, which is really cool because I see an actual Beatle. What else do I have? Jim Morrison's Life and Death in Paris, Jimi Hendrix's Life and Death and Lady Friends in London. Also Jim Morrison's life in Alexandria, Virginia, and where he wrote People Are Strange, and Love Street, that's in Los Angeles. And I got a new one coming up because I was just in Melbourne and I shot his childhood home, actually. If you like music, check out my original music videos for Free Your Mind, Mystery, What Would I Say, Down, 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 Past Relations, You and Me. I'll Never Tell is a recent one that I just did. Check those out. Got one coming up every day on the beach is a good one. And I have a whole channel, Ink Video, where I put my just acoustic guitar content, also Ink Video, INK Video, on TikTok as well, and The Real DrivinIvan also on TikTok. Never know what you're going to see there. Pop culture stuff, art, Banksy's art in Bristol. I just interviewed the surrealist artist Barry Kite, also in Daytona Beach, Florida. So check that out. And thanks for watching. Here in Estero, Florida, I am Ivan Katz. Let's see if I can make a putt today. Probably not. Ooh, the wind, it's killing me. Oh, it's just horrible. Not even high enough. Close, but no cigar. Very close, but no cigar. And a disc that shouldn't be putted with. Oh, not quite. Putting is off today. But that's not what today was about. It's about the driving and the explanation of those drives. I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now. I'm Ivan Katz.